What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're at the drag strip again, and we're gonna test the Bloodstain here. We haven't had the car out much this year. I think we've had it out twice, and both times we've had it out, the car's had issues. So we're gonna try and sort out some stuff. And the weather is amazing right now. So we're gonna try and run a PB today. The car's gone a 543 at 127 in the 8th, and then I think the fastest it's been through the quarter was like an 880, and that was coasting from the 8th mile. But or at least like 700 or 800 foot. But we're gonna go get teched in and wait for our group to get called up. We'll go up, and I'm gonna check the tune-up right now, try and see what we got in it, and we'll go from there and get to our first pass. All right, guys, so we made our first pass there, as you saw, and the car ran a 559 at 125. 60 foot's a little slower, but I left on a little bit less boost than I did on the PB. So we're gonna open the data log here, see what it made for boost. I was commanding 20 on the dome. I think on the PB pass that it went, we left on like 12 or 13 pounds of boost, and it was like 22 pounds overall, but that took like 26 pounds of dome to get there. We put it on the brake, 3600, pretty soft leave. Looks like it made 8.7 pounds of boost, was targeting 8 on the dome, and left on 8.7, and ramped up 20 on the dome. Looks like we made about 17.5, 18. Stayed pretty flat. Oh, creeped a little bit there at the end. Looks like about 18.5, almost 19 pounds on 20 pounds of dome. So see if we can get it. Gonna see if we can get it to leave a little bit harder. Maybe we'll add some RPM at it. Maybe throw 200 RPM at it. Leave it at 8 on the dome, and maybe throw like 24 or 25 pounds overall, and see if maybe we can get it to run a PB. So we'll let this thing cool off, double check some stuff, and we'll go up for our second pass. What up, guys? Don't mind my dumbass glasses. Welcome back to the channel. We're out at the drag strip yet again. Today's streetcar takeover Kansas City. We got the BK out here. We're doing the street racer heads up class. We got a bunch of Hondas and stuff out here, so it's gonna be a really good day. But no 10-0 index for the BK this time. We're gonna turn it up and try and run out the back and see if this thing will run. They're running small tire right now, so we're getting ready to run up here in just a few to do our second qualifier. We have not run a qualifier yet, so we're gonna get up there and run one. We only get one qualifier, we do, but the class as a whole got 2 qualifiers because they ran one yesterday that we didn't make it to. So we'll get up there, we'll make our second qualifier, Q2 round, but our first qualifier, and see what this thing does. I've got it turned up. It's got 25 pounds of dome. I'm about 1.5 seconds into the run, trying to leave on about 10. So this truck's never left on anything over like 7 or 8. So we'll see what the anti-roll bar does for this thing, but we'll get up there in the lanes and hopefully this pass goes well for us. All right, guys, there's a gang of cars in our class, the street racer class. Street racer class will get broke down into 3 different subclasses. So this is our qualifier, and they'll go through and they'll categorize everybody up in 3 different classes based on ET. But we're about 4th pair back, and they're getting ready to finish small tire, and then we'll come up for our first qualifier. So anyways, we'll get suited up and get up there. All right, guys, so we ran a 972 in the truck and felt pretty good, but we're in a 905 index class, so it's like 90 to basically 990. It's gonna be tough to make that up. We're out of turbo at this point. The truck doesn't make any more than 20 pounds, and it's 60 footed pretty much as good as it normally ever does. So I'm gonna make an anti-roll bar adjustment. We'll try and leave a little bit harder, maybe try and make a little bit more boost on the 2-step, but we're just gonna have to try and see what we can do and see if we can get this thing to go down. All right, guys, so we're in the lanes for our first round of eliminations. It's getting pretty late. I doubt we're gonna go much further than this. There's 34 cars in our group, and they're getting ready to pull us up after the Street Racer Wild ran, and Street Racer Mild is up right now, and we are in the Street Racer Daily class. So we're gonna get up here. I don't know if we're gonna do a chip draw because there's 34 in our group. They're probably just gonna run us however we pulled up in the lanes and just let it go. So looks like we got an F-150 next to us, which might suck.
And here we go, takes the goal to the right side of the track.
Anyways, we're gonna get up here and hopefully we can make it down.
There in our
All right, and as you saw there, we went out first round of eliminations in the streetcar class. We raced that Tesla in qualifying. We ran it, and I think the thing ran like 940s. We ended up getting paired up with him in our first round of eliminations, and we lost to him there as well. The boost knuckle, as you can tell in that video that I pedaled it there on the big end of the track, it would sound like it was breaking up, or it felt like it was breaking up. So I kind of got out of it, and I was like, let me pedal this thing and see. And I got back in it, and I think by then the boost had came down from pedaling it, and it didn't come back up, and but it didn't do it when I pedaled it. So I don't know if it was just blowing spark out or what, But by then the race was done. He was in the video, it kind of looked like I was out on him. I short tracked him, but he reeled me in, and he was already out in front of me whenever I pedaled it. The BK does have an issue where it likes to push water, and I've changed the head gaskets, I've changed the head studs. If I run it like a half a gallon low on water, it doesn't do it. I've checked it for head gaskets. I've got my little tester. I've checked it for head gaskets. Is it lifting the head at higher boost pressures? Maybe. I find that really unlikely. I've got all that same stuff that's in that motor in about a half a dozen others, and they don't have this problem. And the BK, that pass, I think was only, I think I was targeting, I think on that pass I targeted 28, but it still only made like 20, 21. And that kind of leads me into another thing. We're pretty well maxed out on that VS S475. It is the smallest exhaust wheel they have in an S475. That's a T4 110 exhaust housing. And based on fuel consumption and kind of what the truck runs, I'm pretty sure we're pretty maxed out on that turbo. And I think that's part of some of my issues that I'm having with this truck overall. I think there's a back pressure issue and stuff. So with that being said, damn, I'm breaking stuff. With that being said, I reached out to Vren at VS here a while back and was kind of in his ear about wanting to change the turbo on the truck. I was going to put an S480 on it. I was going to do a T4 like 8087, the middle of the road exhaust wheel, and I was going to do like I think it's a 115 exhaust housing. And we went back and forth, and he's like, you know, this is what it's going to cost, whatever. And he's like, if you want to splurge a little bit, let's try this. So we tried a little bit different turbo. Let me show you what it is. So we've already changed the turbo out. The truck is on its street wheels. Race season's pretty much over at this point. The weather's starting to turn. We may have opportunity to get it out maybe one more time. I think there's 2 more weekends of the track down south. It's like 2.5 hours away. They've got 2 more Sundays coming up for testing tunes. But we hit Vren up. We picked this up. I went ahead and installed it the day I got it. This is a 76 millimeter. It's a 7689. So we purchased the 7289, and we've done some testing with it on the Civic. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it back on the car for spring next year to do some testing with it. The Civic's already gone 8s, so we want to see what it'll do with this VS72. This is a 76 millimeter version. If you compare this is basically like a Garrett G45 1500. It shares the S400 chassis, and it fits in the exact same spot as the old S475 did, but it's got a little bit bigger compressor wheel, a little bit better design. It's dual ball bearing, and it's got a bigger exhaust wheel in it. I've talked to a couple guys, and Vren even told me he knew some guys that were making 1,000 horsepower on this 76 millimeter with LS form or LS platform. But I actually talked to a gentleman the other day. I saw him on some LSX stuff. He's got a wagon with I believe it's a 5.3 with this exact same turbo in it. And he said his car at like 3,900 pounds will go 550s at like 26 pounds of boost with this same turbo. I'm thinking I want to put this thing on 25, 26 pounds, and that's probably where I'll leave it. But this truck only weighs 3,400 pounds. I don't think it's going to go that fast. The truck's not really set up for that. But my goal, if I can get it to go 580s, 590s, like that'd be super cool. A 570 would be insane because essentially it'd be an 890 truck. If I could get this thing to run an 890, I would be ecstatic. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't plan on that happening. Ideally, I'd like to be like a 940, 950 street truck. You know, that would be pretty good. The last pass we ran there against that Tesla, the truck actually, it went like a 618 if I remember right. That's the fastest the truck had gone with a 4.8 and the S475. It had gone faster than that with the 6.2 and the 88. Obviously, the thing made a ton of power then. I'm super pumped to try this turbo out. Vren says this will do the trick. And if this thing works the way I want it to on this, I may end up thinking about changing the turbo on the Mustang because it's got a T4 8896. It's got the 125 exhaust housing, and I think that turbo's rated for like 1,400 or something. But it's old technology. It's an older turbo. Vren has an 80 millimeter in this same exact turbo, and there's a good chance I end up trying to get that to put on the Mustang. So then the Civic will have a 72 version of it, the truck will have a 76, and the Mustang will have an 80 version. So try and use them all, you know. I try and use Varen on everything. I've had really good luck with his turbos. He's great to deal with. I'm not telling you anything you probably don't already know. A lot of people run VS stuff. Anyways, that's pretty much the gist of our race season this year. We've got some projects in the shop that we're currently working on. Hopefully I'll do some update videos, kind of what's going on in the shop. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I've started a new part-time job helping another guy, Vasco Speed and Performance. He's got a local performance shop. He's kind of a one-man band. He reached out to me, asked me if I'd be willing to help him out. I've been there for a few weeks, working a couple days a week. It's been great. Brad's a good dude. Dude's super talented, probably one of the best fabricators around. I'm super glad to be on his team, and hopefully he can teach me, hopefully I can learn some stuff from him. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. Comment, like, subscribe. See you on the next one.